able to play this third and final game here at the Chartwell's Women's Sports Complex on the campus of Arkansas Tech University, as the Golden Suns are taking on the Henderson State Reddies in this final game of this three-game set on Easter weekend. So the Golden Suns swept the doubleheader yesterday against the Henderson State Reddies and are riding on a 17-game winning streak as they are getting ready warmed up. And in the circle for the Golden Suns will be Emily Richard, and for the Henderson State Reddies, in the circle will be Lacey Kelly. I am Joshua Tripp, joined by my partner, Jonah. Jonah, how are we feeling about this game today for the Golden Suns?
Yeah, feeling good for the Golden Suns. Emily Richard gets the start in the circle in Game 3. She came in Game 2, tossed 3 innings, and got 5 strikeouts. She was dominant against this Reddies lineup. Excited to see what she brings to the table today.
Absolutely. So we are about ready for first pitch here, as we are trying to get the right ball, and umpire will throw out the ball to Richard, and we're about ready to go. So the first batter for the Henderson State Reddies will be Hillary Akers, the third baseman. She has the highest batting average on the team with an average of .376.
The difference in this one will be the pitching. Again, Arkansas Tech comes into this one second in the conference in terms of pitching. Henderson State sixth. Their lineups, their batting averages, and everything across the teams, they're 6th and 7th in the conference, so that's even.
All right, and the first pitch, we are underway here at Chartwell's Women's Sports Complex on the campus of Arkansas Tech University for ball 1. And that one's hit sharply, and Destiny Madewell, as she did yesterday, made the play there right at second base for the first out of the inning. So then the right fielder, Tatum Bittick, will step into the box for the Reddies.
Good to see Richard picking up right where she left off yesterday, attacking the zone, getting some weak contact.
Her first pitch. Bunt was on, and she offered at it, and it's a called strike. It will be interesting to see what these ready hitters, if they've made any adjustments to Richard after seeing her in relief from yesterday. Here comes the 0-1. And that is outside for ball 1. Evens the count at 1-1 for Tatum. Now, Richard does have an ERA of 2.49, but she has a win-loss record of 4-2 with 54 strikeouts. And that one's softly hit towards Curry, and she's able to make the play for the second out of the inning. And that'll bring up Josie Golden, the second baseman for the Reddies. Richard has 54 strikeouts, but only 32 walks.
Yeah, averaging a strikeout an inning. She's really good at getting ahead and using that to advantage.
And she is able to paint the corner there on the outside portion of the plate for called strike 1. It'll be interesting to see what this home plate umpire zone is in this game. Here comes the 0-1, and that's high for ball 1.
Yeah, yesterday in Game 1, we had a tight zone. Game 2 is a more expanded zone. A lot of those calls didn't go the Golden Suns' way.
They sure did not. Charlie Jackson is behind the plate for this one, and she's able to frame that one for strike 2 for her pitcher. Count is now 1-2. And the 1-2 from Richard. Swinging strike 3, and she does her little dance. And that is the final out of the inning. That's a 1-2-3 inning for the Golden Suns as we head to the bottom of the first. This is Golden Sun softball. All right, welcome back, Golden Sun softball fans. As we head to the bottom of the first inning, Rashard picked up right where she left off in relief and had a 1-2-3 inning in the top of the first. So then that'll bring up Anna Winkfield, the left fielder, leading off for the Golden Suns here with an average of 3.15.
Yeah, Lacey Kelly comes into this game for the Reddies at a 7.13 ERA. She's 0-1 on the year, only 17 innings pitched, giving up 29 hits, 18 runs, 21 walks, 10 strikeouts. Not a good walk ratio, averages over a walk an inning. Surely the Golden Suns will take advantage of that with their speed.
For sure, Jonah. Walks are a lot more detrimental in softball than they are in baseball. The first pitch was a ball, and that is outside for ball 2 as Anna quickly gets into a hitter's count at 2-0.
Yeah, I won't be surprised if all hands are on deck today for these Reddies pitchers, just trying anything to stifle this offense.
Here's the pitch, and that is a called strike on the inside portion of the plate.
These are sometimes the moves you got to make when you're facing a team on a 16-game win streak. Coach Worthington taking that chance today with Kelly.
And Anna hits that one well to the right fielder, and she gathers under it and is able to make the catch for the first out of the inning. So that'll bring up Maya Curry, the shortstop. And with her speed, as we already see the third baseman kind of playing it up as well, as we know that Curry has the speed to, she's more of a slap bunt hitter. First pitch to her is outside for ball 1.
Interesting thing here, Josh. The first baseman for the Reddies isn't wearing a first baseman mitt. I don't think she usually plays there. She's wearing an outfielder's glove.
That is intriguing. Here's a 1-0, and that's slapped towards out to left field, and the left fielder makes the catch. They're taking a couple of steps, and that'll be a second out of the inning. So the freshman in the circle for the Reddies has held up so far. So that'll bring up Aubrey Jones to the plate.
Yeah, number 20, Abby Brinkley getting the start at first. She's listed as an outfielder, freshman.
Alrighty then. Here comes the first pitch. Aubrey tries to lay down the bunt. However, it hits the plate and is called for a foul ball. And she is more than capable of laying down the bunt for a hit with her speed. Here's the 0-1. Tries to bunt again and did not offer for ball 1. Evens the count at 1-1 with 2 outs. Aubrey is one of the best, most patient hitters in this Golden Suns lineup. She will take her walks too. And she swings and fouls that one back for strike 2. Lacey Kelly, in the pitcher in the circle for the Reddies, has an ERA of over 7. So there could be a huge opportunity here for the Golden Suns to get to her early. And that one's outside for ball 2. Aubrey does have the highest batting average on the Golden Suns at 340. And that one's inside for ball 3. Count runs full. Like we said at the beginning, towards the start of this at bat, Aubrey will take her walks as she is a very, very patient hitter and it's a tough out. Here's the payoff pitch. And that is a walk that Aubrey will take. And that'll bring up Allie White, the designated player for the Golden Suns. They've got the win in the circle in game 1. It'll be interesting to see what Coach Jones does with Aubrey on first base with her speed, even though there's 2 outs. And that one's fouled back. First pitch for strike 1. Jonah and I were talking pre-game that even though the rain has subsided, these players may want to start sliding earlier than they usually do on this turf field. So that'll be high for ball 1.
Yeah, that's something you got to factor in anytime you're trying to steal a base. Wet turf will make you slide even like 5 feet more than you're used to.
Here comes the 1-1 from the freshman. And that one's laced down the left field line, and that is called foul. That was barely foul, I would think. There, Jonah, it was sharply hit.
Middle infield is playing into the gaps a lot more. If Aubrey Jones decided to steal a base, it'd be tough for any of them to cover.
Here's the 1-2, and that one's popped up. And the center fielder makes a couple steps, and that'll be the 3rd out of the inning, as we are scoreless so far with no hits and no runs and no errors on both sides. We head to the top of the 2nd. This is Golden Suns softball.
Welcome to St. Mary's Regional Health System, your trusted healthcare partner in Russellville. Since 1925, we've grown alongside our community, providing compassionate care to generations. With advances in technology and a dedicated team, we continue to evolve, driven by our mission of making communities healthier. Thank you, Russellville, for allowing our family to care for yours. St. Mary's Regional Health System, making communities healthier.
All right, welcome back to Golden Suns softball as we head to the top of the 2nd inning. Both pitchers face somewhat the minimum as the freshman Lacey faced 4 batters and Richard faced a minimum of 3 batters. So that'll bring up Sam Flores to bat for the Reddies against Richard. First pitch is fouled back for strike 1. Towards the right side.
Flores did belt a double in game 1. Nobody has yet to have a hit off Emily Richard in this series, though.
Here comes the 0-1, and that one's low on the turf for ball 1. Richard just has this ability against these ready hitters to get up into a pitcher's count as opposed to a hitter's count. Here's the 1-1, and that one's barely outside for ball 2. Yeah, Charlie Jackson tried to frame that for Richard and was unable to get the call on that pitch. Here comes the 2-1, and that one's low for ball 3. Very rare 3-ball count for Richard in this series. See if she can come back and get the count full. Here comes the 3-1, and that was hit softly on down the right field line, and it is foul. So the count runs full. Here comes a payoff pitch from Richard. And that one's belted towards center field. And Aubrey makes the catch out in center field, and that is the first out of the inning.
Yeah, not an easy play for Aubrey Jones, battling that crosswind. Looked like she misread that one off the bat a little bit. Had to stumble on back toward the wall to make that play. Biggest thing is getting that out, though. It's not about how pretty it looks.
For sure. And that'll bring up Abby Brinkley here. Bunt is on and did not offer at the pitch. That'll be ball 1. Looks like Riley and Caroline are playing a little bit up to play on the bunt. At the corner here. And Richard gets the called strike on the inside portion of the plate with that one.
Abby Brinkley is a freshman. She's gotten 50 at-bats this year, though, batting .306, 15 hits, 1 run, 8 RBIs, 7 walks, 11 strikeouts.
And that pitch is outside and low for ball 2. She does have an OPS of .842, which is really good for a freshman. And here comes the 2-1 from Richard. Inside, jam shot. Destiny's there at second, as she always is, and records the second out of the inning.
Not an easy play there either. A jam shot can cause a lot of different spin on the ball. I saw it from behind home plate here. There's some different spin, but it just skipped off that right into Destiny's glove. Good play.
So that'll bring up Jay Albiter to the plate for the Reddies. And Richard throws that high and outside for ball 1. Here comes the 1-0. And that is strike 1. Called strike. One thing that's great about Richard is that she is going to fill the zone with many of her pitches. She doesn't miss with many of her pitches. And that's a swinging strike 2. Foul tip. Charlie wasn't able to catch it. It's still a strike though. So now Richard gets into a pitcher's count with count 1 and 2 with 2 outs, nobody on. And the 1-2. And that one's popped up. And Destiny calls everybody off. And that will be the final out as Richard faces the minimum in that inning as we head to the bottom of the second inning. Still scoreless here at Chartwell's Women's Sports Complex. This is Golden Sun softball. right, welcome back to Golden Sun Softball as we head to the bottom of the second inning here at Chartwell's Women's Sports Complex on the campus of Arkansas Tech University, as both teams are scoreless. And so now that'll bring up Aaliyah Dixon here. As
Looks like she got moved up in the lineup, Josh. Just like
I was just about to say that. I think that's a smart move by Coach Jones, as she was causing havoc at the bottom of the lineup there in the previous 2 games of this series.
Yeah, if you have someone slugging over 600 in your 9-hole, you probably should move them up. Dixon, really good hitter for this Golden Suns team.
That's a called strike on the outside portion of the plate. And Dixon quickly goes down 0-2. Not to mention the fact that her OPS is over 1. And she denies that one for the first ball of the at-bat. You think Coach Jones listened to our, broadcast and had your suggestion in mind?
She might. She might have just done that.
And Dixon fouls that one back and will earn one more pitch.
Lacey Kelly's really done a good job so far against these Golden Suns hitters. Getting up. Hasn't walked anybody yet.
No, she really hasn't, which is not what the numbers would tell you so far in this game. Here comes another 1-2 for Dixon. And that one's right to the second baseman, and she makes the play. And that'll be the first out of the inning. And this will be Destiny Madewell. That'll come up to bat for the Golden Suns. The ever-calm second baseman for the Golden Suns. First pitch, swinging, makes contact, will be out of play, foul on the left side.
Yeah, looking at it here, it looks like for the Reddy's pitching staff, between Applegate and Campana, they combined for 200 innings pitched this year, over that. And the other 3 pitchers on the roster are combined for 25 innings.
Wowzers. So here comes the 0-1, and that one's fouled straight back for strike number 2. So Destiny quickly falls behind 0-2, looking to protect her zone here against Lacey Kelly. Here's the 0-2, and Destiny pops that one. And that'll be and an incredible diving catch by the right fielder for the Reddies as she went full Superman on that catch.
Yeah, Supergirl Biddick out there making an incredible play. Robbing Destiny Madewell the hit.
Even though it was against the Golden Suns opponent, I think that might have been a Sports Center top 10 web gem on that one. So that'll bring up Caroline Wilhelm up to bat for the Golden Suns. And she gets a called strike on the outside portion of the plate with that pitch.
Senior first baseman did belt a home run yesterday, her first of the year.
Sure did. Here comes the 0-1, and that one's fouled back for strike 2. It seems that the plan of attack for this pitcher for the Golden Suns is to swing early and swing often. And I think Lacey is using that to her advantage in the circle. Here comes the 0-2. And that one's outside for ball 1. And here comes the 1-2 from Lacey. that one's in the turf for ball 2. Evens the count at 2-2. There's the 2-2 for, and Caroline hits that to the third baseman, throws across the diamond, and that'll be another 1-2-3 inning for Lacey Kelly as we head to the top of the third inning. This is Golden Sun softball.
Are you ready to get in on the action at Arkansas Tech? Join us for a campus tour and see firsthand why we're the perfect fit for you. Explore these state-of-the-art facilities, meet our friendly faculty and staff, and discover the vibrant student life that awaits. As a bonus, we are now giving bilingual tours in Spanish.
¿Te gustaría conocer el campus de Arkansas Tech? Contáctanos hoy y descubre por qué esta universidad es el lugar donde comienzan los sueños grandes. From our beautiful campus to our endless opportunities, there's something for everyone at ATU. Visit atu.edu/admissions to schedule your tour today and to start your journey to success.
All right, welcome back to Golden Sun softball as we head to the top of the third inning here. We are still scoreless and have yet to see a hit from both teams. Turning out to be a somewhat of a pitcher's duel here between Richard and Kelly. So then this will be Aspen Beatty. That'll be in the box for the Henderson State Reddies. She is showing bunt. However, she'll pull back and swing and foul that straight into Charlie's glove for strike number 1. The junior catcher is batting .222 on the season so far. Here's the 0-1, and that one's low, and that'll be ball 1.
Just the 10th start for Beatty behind the plate this year for the Reddies. She started in game 1 as well. Did solid behind the plate.
And that pitch is kind of high for ball 2. As Charlie tried to frame that for Richard, tried to get the call in the upper part of the zone. Here comes the 2-1. And that one is high and outside for ball 3.
She's not missing by much here, but it does look like she's missing.
This game is a game of inches for sure. Here is 3-1. Swings through that one, and that'll be strike number 2, and the count runs full. Beatty is showing bunt and pulls back, and that'll be low, and that's ball 4. So that'll be another walk for Richard, and then that'll bring up Macy Hoskins, the left fielder who had that has made a couple of plays out in left field in this series. First pitch is outside for ball 1.
Yeah, that was just the first runner that Richard has allowed in 4 innings of work against this Ready lineup.
And here's the 1-0, and that is tipped in, and Charlie was able to catch it for strike number 1. Charlie is keeping a close eye on BT as on first base. She is thought about doing the back pick a couple of times. There's a 1-1, and that is high for ball 2. So the count is now 2-1. See what Coach Worthington decides to do, and that's outside for ball 3. I don't know what. It's like Richard has. He's not missing by much, but she is missing. 3-1 is fouled back towards the right field side and into the bullpen. And that'll run the count, another full count for Richard. Let's see if Richard can get a ground ball here. See if the Golden Suns can turn a double play for her. With Destiny and Curry middle of infield, and that'll be low for ball 4 again. So that'll be 2 runners on with nobody out, and then bring up Maisie Jones, the center fielder. And we'll have a talk with the pitching coach in the circle with Richard, and we'll be right back. This is Golden Sun softball. All right, we are back with Golden Sun softball as the meeting has concluded. Everybody talking strategy and trying to be on the same page. The situation is with 2 runners on. It's the most traffic so far that the Reddies have had in this game, with nobody out. And Maisie Jones is up to bat, and the bunt is on, and she offered and was not able to make contact.
Yeah, it looked like she just pulled back, thinking that one was going to be low. Richard gets the strike call at the bottom of the zone, though. Fully expect Maisie Jones to go for the bunt attempt again. Trying to do a job.
Yep, there's the bunt. Riley catches it, and Destiny covers first. And that'll move the runners up 60 feet. And she did her job as a sacrifice bunt.
Yeah, just what the Reddies want. Runners in scoring position for their best hitter, Hillary Akers, at the plate. Now the Golden Suns do have an open base, so it'll be interesting to see if Richard tries to pitch around Akers. Not trying to give her something too good.
For sure, and that the first pitch is low for ball 1. Would not be the worst thing to walk Akers, as she is the Reddy's best hitter, as you said, Jonah, to get to Tatum Bittick. Here's the 1-0, and that is fouled back, evens the count at 1-1.
Yeah, even right there, Richard missed her spot, missed inside. Akers unable to take advantage of that. Since February 28th is the last time the Golden Suns have given up more than 4 runs.
That's pretty impressive. That means you're doing your pitching right and your defense is solid. And that pitch is in there for called strike 2. Here comes the 1-2 from Kelly. And that one's hit sharply towards the shortstop. Throws across the diamond, and Charlie is retired for the first out of the inning. And that'll bring up Riley Drake, the third baseman for the Golden Suns. Tell you what, Jonah, this Lacey Kelly, she, even though the numbers would tell you that she walks a lot of people, she's gotten into a lot of pitchers' counts. First pitch swinging is fouled on the left side by Riley.
I would imagine this is probably her best start of the year, her 5th start on the year, probably her best appearance as well. Making the most of the start today.
That's all. That's all an athlete would want is an opportunity. Here's the 0-1, and that's high for ball 1.
Yeah, and she'll get plenty. She's still a freshman.
That she is. Well, here comes the 1-1. And that is called a ball. And much to the dismay of Lacey Kelly and the Henderson State faithful here that have made the trip from Arkadelphia. Here comes the 2-1. And that one's hit sharply towards the Henderson State dugout for strike 2. Here comes the 2-2. And that one's low and inside for ball 3. Riley being a very patient hitter here in the 9 hole. See if she can muster up something to turn the lineup over. Here's the payoff pitch. It's popped up the left side, and that it will be foul as no one was able to make the grab. And Riley will earn one more pitch. And here's another payoff pitch. And that is ball 4. And so that'll turn up the lineup over to Anna Wingfield. And she comes up to the plate.
Lacey Kelly, second walk of the day, comes against a 9-hole, Riley Drake. Golden Suns could have something cooking here at the top of the order. Runners on.
And that one's laced to the left center field gap to the wall, and Riley passes by second all the way to third, and she stands up, and Anna Wingfield has a stand-up double.
Her 5th of the year, and good golly, she got all of that one.
That she did. That was hit really, really hard. So now that'll bring up Maya Curry. See what the Golden Suns will be having play here with runners at second and third with 1 out.
I would assume the Reddies infield will also try to get Riley Drake at home. Seems like they're all playing up.
Yes, they are. First pitch is high for ball 1. That was going to be the interesting point is, yeah, the freshman got him through the first time in the lineup, but what adjustments did the Golden Suns make after seeing Kelly once? And what adjustments is Kelly going to make after seeing these hitters? And that was hit sharply, and the third baseman got right through her glove and into the left field, and that would be the first run of the ball game.
Good on Maya Curry to hook that one the other way. Good barrel as well. Got enough on that to sneak that past Hillary Akers at third, who's been awesome over there in this series.
She really has, and then that'll bring up Aubrey Jones.
Good clutch, timely hitting from Curry as well. Haven't seen a lot of that in this series, especially game 2.
Well, Aubrey offers the bunt, and Curry will take second base. So that'll be another stolen base for Curry. So Aubrey calls time. He has to umpire a question, and so we're going to get back in the box. Here's the 0-1, and that'll be outside for ball one. There comes the 1-1 from Kelly, and that's called strike on the outside portion of the plate. So Aubrey will be looking to protect here against Kelly. And that is outside for ball two. Leaves the count at 2-2.
It's ready defense. He's playing back now, middle infield, playing back, trying to just muster an out, not necessarily trying to get on at third base.
No, they're not. But, the 2-2 will be a ball three. Count runs full for Aubrey. Here comes a payoff pitch. And Aubrey fouls that one back with her protecting her zone. And she'll earn one more pitch. There's another payoff pitch. And that one's hit down the left field line, and it is foul. So Aubrey will earn another payoff pitch. Seems like somewhat of a pivotal moment in this game so far. If the Golden Suns are able to cash in what the Reddies couldn't do the last half inning. Another payoff pitch. And Aubrey strikes out swinging as she swung through that strike.
A rare strikeout for Aubrey Jones, just her 20th this year in 98 at-bats. Big spot for the freshman Lacey Kelly to pick one up, though, against the best hitter for the Golden Suns.
That is correct, and that'll bring up Allie White, the designated player for the Golden Suns. And she fouls the first pitch down the left field line for strike one. Here comes the 0-1. And that one's popped up, and everybody's running. Left fielder has got it, and that'll be the end of the inning. But the Golden Suns strike first with a 1 run on 2 hits with no errors when we head to the top of the 4th inning. This is Golden Suns softball. All right, welcome back to Golden Suns softball as we head to the top half of the 4th inning with the Golden Suns leading the Henderson State Reddies 1-0 with Henderson has 0 runs with no hits and no errors, and Arkansas Tech Golden Suns have 1 hit or 1 run with 2 hits and no errors so far.
Rosie Golden's batting for the Reddies. One of two seniors in this lineup today.
And she pops up the first pitch, and Aubrey calls off everybody, and she makes the first out of the inning. So that'll bring up Sam Flores up to bat for the Reddies.
Number 15, Sam Flores.
The only people to reach base against Richard has ironically been the 7, 8, 9 hitters for the Reddies.
Here's the first pitch, and that is a called strike, even though Charlie was unable to glove that one. Yeah, she's laughing at herself for that one, giving herself a little chuckle. Here comes the 0-1 from Richard. That one's softly hit. Destiny there at second. Goes up to Caroline, and that'll be the second out of the inning.
First baseman, number 20, Abby Brinkley.
So that'll bring up Abby Brinkley up to bat for the Reddies. Destiny is just so solid there at second base for the Golden Suns. Has been this entire season, and especially in this series. And the first pitch is softly hit down to Caroline. That'll be 3 unassisted. And that'll be the final out of the inning. Another 1-2-3 inning for Emily Richard. And we head to the bottom half of the fourth inning with the Golden Suns leading 1-0. This is Golden Suns softball.
You belong at a school that understands your needs. At Arkansas Tech University, you'll receive a personalized education designed with your interests in mind. Offering over 150 degree options both online and in person, with classes taught by dedicated instructors committed to helping you succeed in your chosen field. Grow beyond your expectations. Apply today and discover why you belong at ATU.
And welcome back into Golden Suns softball as we are heading to the bottom of the fourth inning with the Golden Suns leading the Henderson State Reddies 1-0 as Aaliyah Dixon comes up to bat for the Golden Suns against Lacey Kelly. All things considered for the freshman in the circle for the Reddies, she has done very well for herself so far in this game.
Especially coming in against a team that's red hot.
And she throws that one way outside for ball 1 against Dixon. It was going to be interesting to see what kind of adjustments the Golden Suns hitters made once they saw the freshman pitcher one time. Here's a 1-0, and Dixon fouls that down the right field line for strike 1. However, the Golden Suns were able to get some traffic on the bases and get a couple of hits off of Kelly their last half inning. And that one is hit sharply foul, probably towards the parking lot for another insurance claim.
Yeah, Anna Wingfield ripped that double into left center. One hop the fence, followed up by a Maya Curry single to score Riley Drake from third.
And that pitch is inside for ball 2. Evens the count at 2-2.
Aaliyah's 0 for 1 today. Grounded to second last time she was up.
Here's a 2-2. And that one is fouled back. And Aaliyah will earn another pitch. She protects her zone there. And the 2-2 from Kelly. That's high and outside for ball 3, and the count runs full. See what kind of pitch Kelly here has for a payoff one. And here it comes. And that one's hit sharply, and the right fielder is there. And Dixon is retired. And that'll bring up Destiny Madewell.
Yeah, Kelly went right after Dixon there, throwing that one kind of right down the middle. Dixon lacing that one into right, but just right at Biddick out there. Good at bat.
Biddick has had a wonderful game flashing that leather out there in right field so far. Here's the first pitch. And Destiny fouls that one back. And that'll be the first strike of the at-bat. I will say the Ready defense has had Kelly's back for the most part in this game. That one is low and hits the turf for ball 1. Even though there have been some very hard hit balls by these Golden Suns batters so far. And the 1-1. That one's down to the left field, and that'll be a hit for Destiny Madewell. And that'll bring up Caroline Wilhelm.
Yeah, like you said, Josh, there's been a lot of hard hit balls for the Golden Suns today. Destiny picking up on that as well. It's only a matter of time before they get one into one of these wind streams and poke one out of here.
That would be quite amazing. So that'll bring in a pinch runner for Destiny as Abby Lowry comes in to pitch run. So
At the plate.
see if Caroline can.
First baseman number 12, Caroline Wilhelm.
See if Caroline can pass the bat down the order and get another single. See what Coach Jones has got cooking here. First pitch is a ball. I don't know if she's going to have since you got a pinch runner, if she's going to send her. And that one's inside for ball 2. So Caroline's able to work into a hitter's count here. Up 2-0.
Caroline's 0 for 1 today, grounded to third base last time she was up.
And the 2-0 from Kelly. That one's hard hit, dead center. Center field takes a couple of steps and makes the catch, and that'll be the second out of the inning, and that'll bring up Charlie Jackson up to bat for the Golden Suns.
Catcher number 1, Charlie Jackson.
So the Golden Suns' timing is just right. They're just hitting them right at where the Reddies are standing. That one's in the turf, and Abby gets a stolen base.
Yeah, good read there from Abby Laurie. Seeing that one immediately in the dirt, takes off, no hesitation. Exactly what you want out of a base runner.
Making the most of her opportunity as a pinch runner. Here's the 1-0. And that's a ball 2 for Kelly. So that'll bring up the count to 2-0. on Charlie. Here's the 2-0 from Kelly. And that one's kind of softly hit up the middle, and that'll bring in another run. And so that's another RBI single for Charlotte Jackson.
Just proved of how detrimental that stolen base was to this Reddy's defense. Beatty letting that ball get away from her, allowing Lowry to get the second. Good on Charlie. Drilled that one into center field to score Lowry.
So that'll bring up a Riley Drake, the 9-hole hitter for the Golden Suns. She walked her last time up, but came around to score. And she pops the first pitch up, and that'll be in the left center field gap, and the center field makes the catch, and that'll be the last out of the inning. However, the Golden Suns are able to put another run on the board and lead the Henderson State Reddies 2-0 heading into the top of the 5th inning. This is Golden Suns softball.
Arkansas Tech University has pathways to go to college beyond free and help cover the cost of your education. While other universities may claim a debt-free option via a special scholarship, ATU doesn't need a special scholarship to cover tuition and mandatory fees because we're already one of the most affordable universities in the state. Instead, ATU offers 5 pathways for graduating high school seniors to cover the cost of attending classes. And one of these 5 pathways could pay for you. Apply today at atu.edu/beyondfree.
All right, welcome back to Golden Suns softball as we head to the top of the 5th inning with the Golden Suns leading the Henderson State Reddies 2-0. Reddies have 0 runs on no hits with no errors. The Golden Suns have 2 runs on 4 hits with no errors. And up to bat for the Henderson State Reddies is Jay Albiter. First batter of the inning for Emily Richard. First pitch, called strike on the outside portion of the plate.
Albiter's that other senior in this lineup today. Playing a good shortstop for the Reddies. She popped out to Destiny mid while at second last time she was up.
And that second pitch is outside just a bit for a ball number 1. I will say so far that the Henderson hitters have had weak contact and the Golden Suns hitters have had strong contact. That one's softly popped up, and Aubrey Jones makes the catch out in center field, and that'll be the first out of the inning.
Yeah, not only that, but Richard has had very efficient innings. Other than the one in the third where she registered 2 walks. She's been mowing through this lineup for the most part.
She really has. And then that'll bring up Aspen Beatty, the catcher behind the plate for the Reddies, and she steps into the box.
BT is one of them batters who registered a walk against Richard.
And Richard starts out this at bat with ball 1 on the low and outside in the turf. As the sun comes out here at Chartwell's Women's Sports Complex. The 1-0, and Emily Richard throws that one high for ball 2. Kind of almost a rare 2-0 count for Richard so far in this game. Here's the 2-0. That one's hit softly, and Leah Dixon out in right field makes the catch, and that'll be the second out of the inning.
Left fielder number 1, Macy Hoskins.
And so that'll bring up the left fielder, Macy Hoskins, up to bat for the Reddies. 8-hole hitter. First pitch, outside for strike one. She is getting that outside corner there, Jonah, pretty consistently here in this game so far is Richard. Here's the 0-1. And tries to hit it again, just barely outside for ball one.
Yeah, Charlie's setting up right on that black, right on that corner. Richard's all over it.
She really is. Here's the 1-1. And that one's fouled back for strike two. So the count goes to 1-2. See if Richard either goes back on the outside or she comes on to the inside with this pitch. And she goes low and outside and does not get that call for her ball two. Evens the count at 2-2. The 2-2. And that one's hit softly, and Dixon makes the catch. And that'll be another 1-2-3 inning for Richard as we head to the bottom of the fifth inning. Golden Suns leading the Henderson State Reddies 2-0. This is Golden Suns softball. Well, welcome back to Golden Suns softball as we are in the bottom half of the fifth inning with the Golden Suns leading the Henderson State Reddies 2-0 as Anna Winkfield, the leadoff batter for the Golden Suns, steps into the box against Lacey Kelly, who's still pitching in the circle for the Reddies. First pitch to Anna is inside and low for ball one.
Yeah, Lacey Kelly's really done a good job today for the Reddies. Keep them in this game, only allowing 4 hits on 2 runs.
It's a pretty fantastic outing as her numbers would be skewed the other way. And that is hit sharply up the middle, and that'll be another hit for the Golden Suns as Anna gets on first for a single, and that'll bring up Maya Curry. And looks like Coach Worthington is going to possibly make a pitching change here. That'll be Lacey Kelly's day in the circle is done, and we'll be right back with the pitching change after this break. All right, we are back with the pitching change with Golden Sun softball as Jersey Cabana gets back into the circle for the Henderson State Reddies. So that'll be the end of the line for Jersey Kelly as she did 4 innings, and there's a attempt base steal by Anna, and she is safe at second.
A Golden Suns runner has been yet to thrown out this inning, or this series.
So, as I was saying on Lacey Kelly's line, she pitched 4 innings, giving up 2 runs with 5 hits. And she is responsible for the runner at second. And that pitch, Maya tried to lay down the bunt and did not offer it, so it's ball 2. Here's the pitch from Jersey, and that gets away from the catcher, and Anna will move up 60 feet. Did not hesitate one bit for ball 3.
Jersey Cabana pitched in game 1 for the Reddies.
And that'll be a 4-pitch walk for Maya Curry. And that'll bring up Aubrey Jones.
It's interesting that Coach Worthington decided to go with Cabana over Applegate, who threw in game 2. Applegate threw pretty well against this Golden Suns team, only giving up 3 runs. Cabana, though, gave up 9 in the game 1 loss.
So that'll be high for ball 1, and Maya Curry will just go up to second as there was no throw from the ready catcher as there's a runner on third. So that'll be high for ball 2. Yeah, it's really interesting that you point that out, Jonah, that Coach Worthington goes to Cabana as opposed to the game 2 starter. And that'll be a hit by Aubrey Jones, and that'll bring 2 in as Curry slides in home safe, and that'll move up Aubrey up to second on the double.
Yeah, she blew right past third base. Maya Curry not slowing down for 1 second. Knew as soon as that one was hit from Aubrey Jones, she was going to score, and she did.
So then I'll bring up Allie White up to the plate. First pitch is a called strike. And another thing is nobody is out. So Allie pops that one up towards the left field, and she makes a catch for the first out of the inning. So that'll bring up Aaliyah Dixon up to bat for the Golden Suns. And she comes out first pitch swinging and fouls that one back. And the count goes to 0-1. Just seems like these Golden Suns hitters are seeing the ball really big, almost like an Easter egg. And that is a called strike on the outside portion of the plate. Quickly goes to 0-2 on Curry, and she'll look to protect here. And that'll be Dixon, and throws out, and that is not that. The peanut gallery does not want that call. They thought that Dixon was safe on that one.
Yeah, Dixon was flying like a kite down the line there. I thought she beat that one out from Josie Golden at second as well, but didn't get the call.
I thought she did as well. So that'll bring up Destiny Madewell. And first pitch to her is a called strike.
Still a duck on the pond. Big opportunity for Destiny Madewell. make this a 5-0 ball game.
That would. And that changeup gets in there on the outside portion of the plate. And Destiny quickly falls behind 0-2.
Madewell is 1 for 2 in this game. Had a single the last time she was out.
And swings through that, drop third strike, and throws to first, and that'll be the final out of the inning. However, the Golden Suns were able to plate 2 runs, and they lead the Henderson State Reddies 4-0 heading into the top half of the 6th inning. This is Golden Suns softball.
Top the 6th inning for Henderson State.
All right, welcome back to Golden Suns softball as we head to the top half of the 6th inning, where the Golden Suns lead the Henderson State Reddies 4-0 as Maisie Jones steps into the box for the Reddies to get this top half of the 6th inning going here against Emily Richard, as her offense has come clutch here in the last few innings for her. And first pitch is a pop-up, and Charlotte throws off the mask, and she makes the catch in foul territory for the first out.
And again, Richard wasting no time, going right after Maisie Jones. Her to pop up. It's been a lot of weak contact today, Josh. I think we've only seen 1 or 2 barrels from this Reddies offense.
Especially in this game. That'll bring up Hillary Akers up to bat for the Reddies. And that is outside for ball 1. On the flip side, the Golden Suns have barreled many balls from the Henderson State pitchers today, from Kelly and Cabana. They've just been right at Henderson State players. And that's a snow cone diving catch by Aubrey Jones for the second out of the inning. What a play.
Good on Aubrey Jones to stick with that one, too. It popped out of her glove for a second, readjusting to make the catch for a second time. What an unbelievable play.
That would be a Sports Center top 10 web gem if that were me. If I was grading that, and that'll be the 2 outs in the inning. And that'll bring up Tatum Bittick. Aubrey showing off her leather work as well as her bat today with that incredible play, as also Bittick has had an incredible play like that herself early on in this game. And that one's hit weakly right at Curry, and that'll be the 3rd out of the inning as we head to the bottom of the 6th, with the Golden Suns still leading the Henderson State Reddies 4-0. This is Golden Suns softball.
Arkansas Tech University has pathways to go to college beyond free and help cover the cost of your education. While other universities may claim a debt-free option via a special scholarship, ATU doesn't need a special scholarship to cover tuition and mandatory fees because we're already one of the most affordable universities in the state. Instead, ATU offers 5 pathways for graduating high school seniors to cover the cost of attending classes. And one of these 5 pathways could pay for you. Apply today at atu.edu/beyondfree.
So, welcome back to Golden Suns softball as we head to the bottom of the sixth with the Golden Suns leading the Henderson State Reddies by the score of 4-0 with Caroline Wilhelm stepping into the box for the Golden Suns against Jersey Cabana. First pitch, Caroline lays down the bunt and the ball rolls foul as she tried to sneak one past the Henderson State defense.
Yeah, you rarely ever see Caroline try to bunt for a hit. Trying to catch the third baseman, Hillary Akers, off balance.
Here's the 0-1, and that one is hit sharply towards the third baseman, throws across the diamond, and that'll be out number one for the bottom half of the sixth. So that'll bring up Charlie Jackson up to the box for the Golden Suns. Here's the first pitch to Charlie, and that's in there for a called strike.
Charlie's 1 for 2 today. Had a single the last time she was up. Right up the middle, drove in a run.
And that one is hit sharply down the left field line, and it rolls foul. So that'll be strike two. So Charlie quickly goes down 0-2 against Cabana. Here's the 0-2, and that one's way outside from Cabana, and she tells her catcher that's her bad. So the count now is 1-2. Quickly works, and Charlie softly hits that, and third baseman catches it for the second out. So now we have a pinch hitter, and that'll be the number 9, Brinley Bancroft. She's pinch hitting for Riley Drake.
Normally a pinch runner for this Golden Suns team, but this time get an opportunity to get a hit here with 2 outs, trying to get something going.
Indeed she is. Coach Jones has given her an opportunity here in the box. And first pitch from Cabana is out high and outside for ball 1.
Just Bancroft's second at bat this year. No hits. Struck out the one time she was up.
Here's a 1-0. And that changeup is in there for ball 2. And that one's fouled back by Bancroft for strike 1. I will say the major difference I see between the two ready pitchers is that Cabana works very much quickly than Kelly. And that one is in there for ball 3. Here's the 3-1, and Bancroft fouls that one back and runs the count full. Here's the payoff pitch, and Bancroft strikes out, and that'll be the final out of the inning. So we head to the top of the 7th inning. The Golden Suns are 3 outs away from taking the sweep on the series. This is Golden Suns softball.
Josie Golden.
All right, welcome back to Golden Suns softball as we are in the top half of the 7th inning. The Golden Suns lead the Henderson State Reddies 4 runs to 0 as Emily Richard comes back inside the circle. And she has been really, really good for this Golden Suns team today in the circle. And first pitch from her is called strike on the outside portion of the plate. And Josie Golden is in the box for the Henderson State Reddies.
Richard threw 3 innings in relief yesterday. It was awesome. Had 5 strikeouts. Today, she's thrown 6, only 2 walks, 1 strikeout only. It's been a lot of weak contact and good defense behind her.
So this will be the 3, 4, and 5 hitters for the Reddies. Count now is 1-1. And Richard throws that one outside for ball 2. If you are a Henderson State fan, these are the hitters that you want up to bat in this inning. However, you would like to have runners on base with them up. And that is a called strike on the outside portion of the plate, even to count at 2-2.
Josie Golden was actually that lone strikeout for Richard today. That came in the first inning.
And the 2-2. And gets another strikeout. Richard gets a strikeout for the first out of the inning. So that'll bring up Sam Flores to bat for the Reddies.
Player number 15, Sam Flores.
These Reddy hitters have just had no answer for Richard, whether in relief or this whole game. And that one's fouled back for strike 1. And another thing that's helped, and that pitch is low and outside for ball 1. Another thing that's also helped Richard is her efficiency with getting outs on the first pitch with that weak contact as well. Here's the 1-1. And that one is in the turf for ball 2. Also, Riley Drake was able to check back in at third, even though she was pinch hit for. That is outside for ball 3. That pitch did not miss by much if it on the outside portion of the plate. Sorry, with Jackson behind the plate was framing it so that she can get her pitcher. Here comes the 3-1. And that one is fouled back once the count full. And here comes a payoff pitch from Richard. Outside, and that is fouled back. And that'll earn another pitch from Richard for Flores. I will also say, Jonah, even the foul balls that the Reddies hitters are hitting are weak contact as well. Another payoff pitch from Richard. Gets another strikeout for the second out of the inning.
So-fitting that she has struck out these last two hitters. Now we're going to get a pinch hitter for the Reddies.
Langley Miller. So Reddies will be down to their final out here. Just trying to, Coach Worthington just trying anything to get something going against Richard here in this game. Be a left-handed hitter here.
Miller does have 14 at-bats this year, batting .286, 4 hits, couple runs, 3 RBIs, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts.
And that one is low and outside for ball 1.
3 of those 4 hits have been doubles.
Here comes the 1-0. And that is outside for ball 2. Richard not able to hit the outside portion of the zone with a left-handed batter consistently yet. And that is inside for ball 3. I don't know. That one did not miss by much.
Yeah, you haven't seen Richard go inside on a lot of hitters today.
She's made most of her living today on the outside portion of that plate. And that's a 4-pitch walk. She just kind of shrugs her shoulders and she says, all right, well, I'll just go on to the next one.
Yeah, that's the mentality you got to have in this. It'll be Richard's 3rd walk, first since the 2nd inning.
So that'll bring up Jay Albiter. So first pitch, and gets the called strike on the lower part of the zone on that pitch for strike 1. Reddies are still down to their final out, even though they got a lifeline here with a runner on first base with the walk. And Richard does not get that call on the outside portion of the plate, evens the count at 1-1. We got called time here. I'm going to reset the pitch clock. Here comes the 1-1 from Richard. And does not get that call on the outside portion of the plate. Charlie calls time and goes out to talk to Richard for a minute. Just want to calm her down, so you just pitch within herself and kind of get a reset here. As the count is 2-1 with 2 outs, runner on first. And Albiter is up to bat, the shortstop, senior for the Reddies. Here comes the 2-1 from Richard. And that one's weakly contacted. And Dixon makes the catch. And that'll be the final out of the inning. Another series sweep. And then that is another no-hitter there, Jonah.
Yeah, what a start for Emily Richard. Coming in absolutely stifling this Reddies offense. Getting that no-hitter. Great job by Emily Richard. Good on her.
So that'll be the second no-hitter that the Golden Suns have done this season. The other one was done by Emily White or Allie White. So that'll be another sweep and then extend their winning streak to 17 games. So they have a couple more games. The Golden Suns have a couple more games coming up next week during the midweek. And we'll also be on the road. So we'll see you at the next home broadcast here on the Arkansas Tech YouTube page, Arkansas Tech Sports YouTube page. This is Josh Tripp and Jonah signing off now from the Charlottesville Women's Sports Complex. The Golden Suns win 4-0 against the Henderson State Reddies with another series sweep. Happy Easter weekend, everybody.